Hey guys, welcome back to another video. We'll be using JavaScript to make animations on the web, and we'll be using Anime.JS for it to function. What we'll be animating is very simple, very basic, nothing advanced, and I'll be showing you how you could animate and make transitions in your pages and on your elements very easily. Right now nothing is happening, but once we refresh the page, an animation such as that will be happening. So this is what we'll be making in this video. Okay, so I've created a new project in Visual Studio Code, and we'll be making a index HTML, some files, and also be making a folder for images. We'll be using this folder later on. For now, I'll just get the basic templating up. Name this Anime.js tutorial, and we'll be linking in the style.css by doing a link right here and putting the style.css in here, and then the JavaScript by making a script tag with a source, and that'll also be app.js. But we still need more things for the anime.js to work, so we need to come in here, write anime.js cdn, and it should take you to this cloudflare.com or whatnot. Copy the script tag from here and control and paste it. And also I'll also be using Bootstrap for the design. You don't need to be using Bootstrap, but it just makes it quicker to code all of this. So I've got Bootstrap in my bookmarks here. I'll also leave this down below in the link, in the description. And all we need to do is copy and paste this part, close this, and put this here. Now we've set everything up, I'll just do a div with container, and create a nav, so nav, and another div with the name navigation, and this will be a class. What this container does is pretty much makes whoever's inside this, well, any children and any other children of that children, whatever elements that is, it'll be automatically margined for us. And alright, now within this navigation we'll be making a UL tag, and I will be making an ID of nav UL, and in the UL I'll be making this with a class of item list, no, that's not it, list inline item, and I'll be copying that 3 times, I think 4, I think it was, rhyming home, about, the standard stuff, and now we have this. We'll be also be adding a class here with list inline And what this does is I'll open this up right now with the live server. Alright, so this is all our ULs, right? Without this bootstrap, list inline, delete this, save it, we'll come back to the Google, the Chrome, and we see they're not inline, they're got bullet points next to them. What this does is makes whatever's inside this UL inline, and you have to specify which item you want to inline to. We've done the nav. Now let's just make a div of body and add an image and another div of this will be making a div of image info. Took me a while to think. And we'll be adding a class of image and modern. What our image is going to be is this image right here, which we'll be animating to, and I'll show you how you can get this image. So go to Google. I've also bookmarked this. I'll put this in the link too. It's unsplash.com, and in here I just wrote interior and chose this one. Saved image as, but I'll just try modern here. But this saves it as a GIF. So what I did was I did a JPEG converter and put this in here, and you can tell that it's been selected as it puts the name here. And then I did the best quality. It's up to you what quality and other settings you want to apply to it. I did start conversion, and then it's gonna come up. I'll leave this out for now. Drag this in here and then into images. Now we have an image. Close this back up. Alright, now we can put this image in. So in the folder and the name of the image. Now we have an image and a navbar. We've just got to add one more bit of thing. We'll be making a div, actually not a div, a h2 of image title, and this could be innovated design, not sure if I spelled that right, and a p paragraph tag, the class of image text, and this I'll be using lorem so it can give me some text without me having to write 125 words. And then now save this, go back here, and then the text should be here. Now let's do our CSS. Come in here. What have I done? Alright. First I'll be working on the navigation, so pretty sure the class was .navigation. Yep. And adding a background of, picked a color earlier, this hexadecimal color, put it as that, and a height of 10 VH, and it comes up as this. And then we can go in here and we can write items. No, it was a class, pretty sure it was a class, yeah, item. And then we can add a color of this hexadecimal. Really, it's a white with a really faint grey. That didn't work. I need to add a class of item in here. That should work. There we go. And then we can add a font size of, let's see how big 25 pixels is. That's decent. And a width of, let's do 40 pixels. Bit too close. 100. I think 100 is good. And I'll do 125. Yeah, and then we could add a margin to this with a 20 pixels and a 5 pixel. So 15 pixels from top and bottom and 5 pixels from the left. Probably do 10 pixels here actually. And there we go. That's our navbar done for now. Now let's move on the image. See what we named our image. Yeah, we need to call the image. Dot image. We'll be adding a position. Actually, let's do a height first. Height. Let's do 100 VH, which is the whole entirety of the page. Well, this page without scrolling down, but since we haven't positioned it yet, then we add a position of absolute, which means this image doesn't follow the DOM structure anymore, and you can position it wherever you want. I will also add this a position of relative, and then we could do a left. I think it was 130 VH. Just a bit more. Where you could align where this aligns to this, but I won't be doing exactly that for now. And then we could add a bottom of, let's do 20 VH. Yeah, that's good. 5 VH is good. What we can do now is we can give the navigation a Z index and a Z index of 1, meaning now the nav background overlaps the image, and we'll make the width a bit shorter of 80% here. And there we go. Now we need to clean up the text a bit. So let's add a class name of, I think it was image info. and then a width of 60%. Yeah, and a line. Let's just do font size first. Actually, let's do line height. We leave lit width like that. Then we do info image not title, image text, and then we can change the size of this font size of let's do 15 pixels. Yes, decent. And then add a line height of 15 pixels here. Yeah, now it's easy to read. We'll make the title a tiny bit bigger. We'll give it a size of well, this was 20 pixels, so we'll do 35. Yes, right, and we'll add a style to it. Of italic. We'll also add a color to both the title and info, which is also going to be one of these hex codes. Adds a tiny bit of more of a blue. Alright, now once we've done the CSS, but once we refresh this page, nothing happens. Now this is where the JavaScript comes in. We add a document dot add not capital add event listener, DOM, spelling is important, content, the casing is important, content loaded, pretty sure it's loaded, or it might be load, the tier, and then we can make a function of this. So what this does is it gets the whole document and waits for when the document is loaded, meaning once this is refreshed, fully refreshed, it means the document is loaded, and then once that document is loaded, it calls this function. Within this function, we'll be actually using some Anime.JS. So what we'll be doing is write anime dot timeline, and we'll be adding some brackets and then squiggly brackets, and then easing of ease out expo. So what this does is, I'll explain what a timeline does, but for everything within this timeline, it will be easing with an ease x out expo. You can also add some other stuff like in here with duration of duration of 2000, meaning 2 seconds, and you can see this makes an error since this is a object list, I'd say, and you've got to add commas, which is basic JavaScript, but we don't really need a duration in here right now. Once we've added that, we can now target which elements we want to create an animation for. So we do a dot add brackets, squiggly brackets, and it's important to realize you can't have a semicolon because it'll make an error here, or a comma. So you gotta leave that free, and then we have to declare targets, and it always has to be like this. we can either declare a single element such as dot navigation, or a list of elements such as dot image dot image info. So what this does is it'll animate dot image and dot image info at the same time, which is handy at most points. For now, we'll just animate the dot navigation and add a comma there. Now what we can do is add some CSS, such as background color. Notice you can't separate them out with dashes, that's the word, since it doesn't recognize what the stash is. So you've got camel case it. Yet again, we have to give this a value of most of these values you'll be using a bracket, meaning we can add two properties inside these. The first one is what it starts off with as the animation, and the second one is what it ends off with. So what we can do is we can do let's do black. No, actually no. I'm not sure if white would look nice, but we'll see. And then let's get this X color in here, add in here, and then there we go. And let's see how this looks. Something's not worked. Let's see. Okay, I figured out the error, and that is because this example was bad, which isn't the one that we were going to be using. We were going to use translate x, which means move from x the position of minus 300, meaning outside pixels, meaning outside of the screen from the left, to its original position. Let's see this happening. There we go. Bounces left to right and then stops from there. We'll add a shorter duration here. There we go. We then could add another add target of items we're going for each and every nav. Let's add a opacity, because you want it to fade in, of a, we don't really need any quotation marks, we just need numbers 0 to 1, and then a duration of 200 milliseconds. See this happening. Yep. It's not items, it's item. There we go. Doesn't look right. Add a longer duration of 800. See that? There we go. Now, that may be a bit too long. You can shorten the time from here. Rather than 2 seconds, we can do 1 second. And then there we go. The navbar slides in, and then the items pop in. Then we want the image and the text to fade in. Well, yeah, fade in at the same time. but we also want the image to grow. So what we could do is do another .add with the targets, but instead of doing a single element, we do need to do a array of elements with .image and .image info, and as we said, we need to fade in 0 to 1. Test this because half the time which doesn't work. Fine, looks good. Yeah, there we go. And then we want the image itself, and change its height. Actually, no, we don't need to do this, else you can just trim the heights in here, because since the text height won't do much, we can do that. And we can do the height as start as 0 pixels and then end up as 100 pixels. See this happen. Alright. Oh, it's got to be VH. My bad. There we go. That's our page animation using Anime.JS, JavaScript, and CSS. I hope you found this tutorial helpful, and be sure to like the video if you did. If you got any questions, make sure you comment down below, and be tuned for the next video.